I'm about to make lemon chicken with sauteed spinach and some minced garlic. Let's get started. So what we're gonna need is a couple of different ingredients. I do have our chicken tenders. You wanna make sure you buy chicken tenders, but if you do prefer chicken breasts, that's fine. Chicken tenders, lemons, a cup of heavy whipping cream, a bundle of parsley, spinach, flour, some salt, and a little bit of olive oil. Let's get started. So first thing first is I'm going to go ahead and take out my chicken tenders and we're going to wash them. So I'm going to throw this away, wash the chicken tenders over here to the sink. I did wash my hands earlier, so now I'm just going to take each by each and just wash them real quick. Just to give it a nice thorough bath. Put them on the plate that we're going to use. I love this recipe because it's just nice and fresh, and since it's almost summertime and it's already hot over here in the Carolinas, it's just a really nice and easy recipe to make for dinner or to put in your salad or for any other time. Okay, great. Now I'm just going to wash my hands. All right, next is to just dust the chicken with some flour. So I have a little bowl of flour right here, and I'm just gonna dust each side to give it a nice little kind of, not necessarily a batter, but just nice little taste to it. Flour is a really good way to cook chicken and gives it a nice touch. I got this recipe from my grandmother's friend. She's from Holland, and I asked her, I said, do you have any really good recipes that I can introduce to a lot of the college kids that are simple and easy? And she's like, you have to try my lemon chicken. And so I was like, perfect. I thought this was going to be great. So I knew that I had to try that. It was a great idea. All right, wonderful. So if your chicken should look like this, just nicely dusted a little bit. And next things first is where we're going to put it into our saute pan. Now you do need some butter to saute the pan. I have 3 tablespoons of butter that I cut out. So I'm going to go over here and plop this in. And you want it on medium high. Not so just like sizzles right, it goes into it. We're going to add our chicken and we should be good to go. But right now I'm going to go ahead and start cutting out our parsley because we are going to add that later on. So I'm going to cut our ends off right here. I'm going to pull some of the leaves off because we don't necessarily want the stems. So this is kind of a, I want to say like tedious process, but a process that you will have to just really make sure you get what you want in the sense of the leaves and its flavors and everything. I can smell that parsley already. Wow. I think that's a pretty good amount. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the side. Just chop off my parsley. Now what you want to do with parsley, you do want to wash it before you take off the leaves and separate the stems from the leaves. Just give it a nice thorough wash and cut it up. Kind of like minced the parsley. Any paring knife, you really want a knife like this to really get a hold of it and really get it minced up. Big knives are good. It smells good. I'm excited. All right, almost done here. Trying to mince up all the leaves we can get. Okay, great. Next, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up my lemons to prepare for the chicken. So when I went to the store, I wanted to get a nice soft, kind of not hard lemon, so it'd be easier to squeeze. So nice and a little bit of squishy, which will get most of the juices out. I'm going to cut it right in half. Ah, I love the smell of citrus, so I always got to smell it. So yum. And I like 2 lemons to really get a hint of that lemon flavor in the chicken because it really soaks it all in. So they're ready to go to be juiced. So I'm going to go ahead and check the butter, and guess what? The butter is already melted. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead, pull down the heat, and put our floured tenders into the saucepan. Great. Okay, and you do want tongs. I think this would really help to pick up the chicken and everything besides using forks or any other device. Because with tongs, you don't scratch up the pan, whether if you use a stainless steel pan and you have like, you know, silver fork, it's going to scratch up your pan and ruin your pan. So I got these tongs from Marshall's and they're fairly cheap, which is great for us college students because that's what we want to hear. All right, so we're just going to saute this up, and then we're going to add our wonderful heavy whipping cream, parsley, lemon, and some salt to taste. Great, now it starts to sizzle. This is a perfect time to go ahead and start doing your spinach. So while it's sizzling real quick, I'm going to go here and get some of my garlic out. Now I did want garlic. I just used a couple of cloves of garlic because it just gives a nice little hint of taste to the sauteed spinach. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the garlic out real quick. Just dice that up. A lot of multitasking in this recipe. I love sauteed spinach. I just know it's so healthy for you. It's wonderful, it's green, and it's really easy. Olive oil and spinach, okay? That's pretty much it. All these flavors are just gonna make a really good dish for a wonderful evening with your friends, family, or by yourself. Either way. Great. So what I'm going to go ahead and do while I can hear my chicken sizzling, got to go over there quick. Chicken cooks fast. I want a tablespoon of olive oil. So move that to our pan. Dump that in there. But while I'm dumping that in there, I'm going to go ahead and flip over the chicken because this does cook fast. And you got to watch for chicken because chicken is kind of tricky to cook. You want to make sure you cook your chicken all the way through. Nobody wants salmonella poisoning and be in the bathroom the whole night. I know I don't. So I want to make sure that I cook this chicken totally through and there's no pink on the inside. Sometimes you have to cut to see if it's going to be pink on the inside. But one thing you want to be careful is to cook it too much because you can definitely do that with chicken. So if you notice, the pink is going to be, well, the thicker the chicken, the harder it is going to cook and to really feel that out. But since it's tenders, it's not going to be that bad. But that pink you do not want. That is bad. So if you ever go to a restaurant, you cut inside chicken, you see that, that is no-fly zone. So be careful with that, FYI. So while that's going ahead and saute, I think this is going to be a really good time to go ahead and add our heavy whipping cream. So this is just a cup. Wonderful. Now, if you do notice that it is a cup of heavy whipping cream, but if you want to do half, you can. If you want to do a fourth, you can. So it is definitely your preference with cooking. It's all up to you. Now I'm going to take my little chopped parsley and I'm going to go ahead and add this too. I'm going to go ahead and start doing that because I want the flavors to really seep into the chicken while it's getting into there. And I'm going to go ahead and start squeezing 1 lemon. So I have 2 of the slices of that 1 lemon. And I'm going to go ahead and squeeze it without the seeds going in as it cooks. Lemon, so good. Yum. Okay. That is totally squeezed right there. So I'll go ahead and put it in my trash. Do it one more time. The other lemon I'm going to wait until it's almost done. So let's get a nice last finish of it. Great. Definitely juice that lemon out. I love citrus. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's go ahead and see how this works. Flip this baby over. All right, so the thing about your chicken is it is going to start getting a little bit of brown, which is good. So keep an eye on that. All right, so while that's sauteing and all those wonderful flavors, I'm going to go ahead and start doing my spinach for real. And turn it on. Oil does cook very fast, so be careful of that. Don't leave it unattended, that's for sure. So what I did is I grabbed a bag full of spinach, but I actually used half because if you see, that's a big plate of spinach. But guess what? When you saute spinach, it gets really small. It gets really tiny, so you're going to notice how different that is. So while it's going, I'll just go ahead and add little by little of the spinach. Little by little is the key. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic. And that's okay if it gets in the parsley. It's all going to be wonderful. This smells so good. Smells delicious. You'll begin to notice that's really going to change color on the chicken, which is wonderful. Okay. Chicken's doing great. I'm going to go over here to my spinach, move this around. You notice I did have a smaller saucepan, which is okay because the spinach does get really small. You notice it's already starting to wilt very fast. Little by little. How about that? Another thing to note is that when you're cooking with oil like that, you want to make sure you don't have it super high. So maybe medium to low heat is the way to go. So you don't splatter. You don't splatter the oil. That is painful. I've had that happen and it is not fun. The spinach literally takes 2 seconds. Not literally, but it's such a fast process. It really won't take that long. So I'm going to tear this down really low. You can smell that garlic working already. I'm going to check my chicken. This would be a great time to go ahead and squeeze our last lemon and put some salt in there. So we got our lemons. Move our salt over here. I just use some sea salt. Any salt is good. One more dash. Squeeze our last set of lemons. You honestly cannot go wrong with lemon. Not go wrong with lemon whatsoever. Okay, great. I'm gonna look at my spinach real quick. I think this is pretty much done and wilted. I'm gonna turn that off. Go ahead and get a plate out. We're about ready to serve. Well, a spinach at least. See all that spinach? That is a half a bag right there. Half a bag of spinach already, as small as it is. So I'm gonna put that to the side. Checking our chicken real quick. We might want to increase the heat a little bit. This might be a go ahead and good time to cut your chicken to really see if it's cooked all the way. A little bit tricky with this sauce. It looks like an Alfredo sauce. So you're not going to be able to really tell, but we have a trick. I'm going to go ahead with a clean plate and cut it in half just a little bit to see if the chicken is ready. I'm going to go ahead and saute this around real quick. Pull out a piece of our chicken. Check and see what it's like. Almost done. Almost done. I'm gonna put that back in there. Great. Great. See, it doesn't take that long at all. And the flavors are just wonderful. It's really going to give it a nice touch to this chicken. All right, this is sizzling already. Wonderful. Turn down just a little bit more and it should be ready to go here in about a couple minutes. Now, like I said earlier, how cooking is more to taste. I'm gonna go ahead and taste our chicken just for you and see how it is. So let's see here. I'm gonna pick out a really good bite-sized chicken. Wow. Perfect. It is perfect. I think we're about done. That's the wonderful thing about chicken tenders is that it cooks probably a little bit easier and faster than the chicken breast because the chicken breasts are usually very thick. All right, we're about done. Great. We have our spinach. I'm gonna go ahead and take out our tenders. And there we have it. Let's try it for the final touch. Let's try it real quick. Another try. See how everything tastes together. Chicken's very moist. Sauteed spinach looks wonderful with it. I think it's going to be very flavorful. Very good. Love the lemons. Love the abstract taste of the parsley to it. Just really nice kick. And the sauteed spinach goes wonderful with it. One last thing I want to note to everybody is that if you like to enjoy wine with your dinner or lunch or whenever you prefer to have your wonderful chicken recipe, I have a Pinot Grigio here for anybody to enjoy. And I think that white wines go wonderful and really, really great with chicken and poultry and or fish. So I just want to introduce to you that white wine would be a wonderful asset to this lemon chicken dish, and I hope you enjoy.